Hello and howdy there, folks. A couple days ago, I watched David Cronenberg's Dead Ringers. It was good. I've been trying to watch some old Cronenberg. I think Cronenberg is in my top 5 directors currently working. He may even be in my top 3. I'm not sure. I think he's just kind of spectacular. Definitely a genius. One of the most influential directors, I think, working. He's just awesome. You know, he is just an uncompromising singular artist. And he does an excellent job at bringing his vision to the screen. And I'm amazed at how you can tell you're watching a Cronenberg film just through tone. Maybe not necessarily visuals, though there are certain visual aspects to his films that are pretty much across the board. In fact, I think Dead Ringers came out in 1988, and I think that, I found it to be incredibly similar to his work since, then. I'm not, I'm not too good with my old school Cronenberg. But I love his work, and I think what he's doing now, A History of Violence, is one of the better films of the last decade, or maybe it's over a decade now. But I just think he's tremendous. So I've been wanting to see some of his older stuff. Dead Ringers I enjoyed. It's definitely a Cronenberg film. Any theme that Cronenberg, that you associate with Cronenberg, it's here. It's, established, kind of a psychosexual relationship, body mutilation. Let's see, what else? Technology. It just is this detached feeling. It's just like he's an observer. He often tells these stories that you don't really want to be involved with. If it were happening in, your life, or someone you care about or knows, life, then, you'd feel bad for them and you'd want to try and help. And here you're just, as with many Cronenberg films, you're just kind of this detached eyewitness, fly on the wall to these, terrible things going on. The terrible things going on in this film are, you've got a tour de force. If I haven't said it, I'm going to give this film an 8. I think it's worthy of an 8. It's very well directed, technically proficient, and it features a tour de force performance from Jeremy Irons. Here you have 2 twins, both portrayed by Jeremy Irons. They are, again, identical twins. They are both high-powered, perhaps together. Their reputation is pretty much as one, as they say. They are perceived as one person. They are a high-powered gynecologist in, I believe, what was metropolitan New York. This kind of could take place anywhere. It may have even been L.A. I'm not entirely certain. But, it just could be anywhere. It's just in this kind of detached, land, or this alternate reality. So you've got these gynecologist identical twins. They share everything in their life. They share their apartment. They share their medical practice. They share their women. And that's pretty much it. Slowly, one of them starts to unravel, and as one starts to unravel, the other follows. So it's just kind of this descent into hell, kind of. The reason I'm not giving it a higher score is because, it's a little slow. It definitely requires your focus, requires your attention. Of course, if I have to exercise, that much. I'm going to not, appreciate it as much, just to have to keep my focus up. And it didn't, since it's slow, there's often times where there's just staring, there's time for your mind to wander. So I was like, well, it didn't like keep me at full attention. And that's probably pretty much it. It's just, a little slow, a little slow. And it's almost, it's a 2-hour film, so it definitely takes its time. It takes its time. But it really gets going. It's kind of dreamlike. It's definitely got some beautiful imagery. There are some moments here where you could just freeze frame it, and it looks like a well composed and thought out painting. It's just gorgeous. Jeremy Irons, again, a tour de force performance. He's pretty much the only actor I can tell you the name of. I didn't even really recognize anyone else in the film. So my late 80s knowledge of character actors, not too good. But Jeremy Irons, again, plays twins. He's pretty much always on the screen. Every scene is pretty much revolving around him in one way or another. And, he nails it. He's an amazing actor. You can pretty much tell the twins apart. He gives them their own little colors. They're definitely, different. They're definitely different, and you can, feel that. You can see that right away. So it's just a great performance from Jeremy Irons. Probably one of his best performances. Some of the trick photography, of dealing with the twins, them talking is done really well. Towards the end, it kind of becomes really creepy as they have, descended into this nightmare. They, kind of match exactly to where you're not even sure if they're not the same person the entire time you've been watching. It's it's just good. It's just Cronenberg. It's just good. Cronenberg, maybe he makes films that you won't like or won't appreciate, but you really can't say that David Cronenberg makes bad movies. He makes what he wants, and if you don't quite appreciate it, then that's up to you. I just think it's beautiful, and I found this to be very similar to his recent works, Cosmopolis. This was really similar in tone to Cosmopolis, I thought. Again, all those Cronenberg films kind of are, just because he takes this detached, alienated look at it, to where you feel like you're, invading this world that you kind of don't want to be in. Also, A Dangerous Method. I found that this was similar to that. It maybe wasn't as action-packed or quickly moving as his two Vigo films, A History of Violence and Eastern Promises. But, I definitely, see that there. Again, this is just more of a slow drama, psychological thriller in a way. And, well, psychological, I don't know if it's exactly thrilling, but it's a psychological test, nonetheless. Cronenberg also produced, co-wrote this as well, as that's what Cronenberg does, produces and writes and directs all of his own, works. I believe this was a novel. In fact, my little Blockbuster sleeve here says that the film was originally called Twins, but it was changed to avoid the Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito comedy of the same year. So two movies called Twins would have come out in 1988, but very different films. It was originally a novel, and Well, right there, it just says based on a true story. That I did not know until just seeing that. So maybe the novel was a longhand account of the true story. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So that's interesting. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoy David Cronenberg's work. And again, I just am trying to see as much of his work as possible. So I think that's pretty much all I've got to say about it. If you're a Cronenberg completist, then you've probably already seen it, but I would definitely recommend it. If you're a fan of Jeremy Irons, then I would strongly recommend it, because this is probably his best performance. And yeah, I think that's fair. Really, good cinematography. Again, sometimes it just looked gorgeous. Just well composed shots. Everything looked really good. So yeah, okay. I think I'm done. So there you go. That's Cronenberg's Dead Ringers, and I'll give it a solid 8. Thanks much.